Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I hope everybody had a great weekend. So we are back into Monday, and it is a busy week on Wax. What I wanted to do here to start out the week was something that I have not done in months. It's long overdue. I haven't done one of these since probably, I think, April time frame, and that is do a my progress video. Basically, how I'm doing right now in Wax, what I'm focusing on, and just what I'm excited about and I've kind of pushed away to the side. I do want to start out this video with a couple disclaimers. I'm not showing this off as any sort of gloating or say, hey, look at me. What I want to be is as transparent as possible. And I've always wanted to be that ever since I started this channel and really pass on to you and give you an idea of what I'm personally looking at and what I'm personally excited about. And again, it's what I personally am. So it's not financial advice. It's not something that's saying you need to go ahead and jump into these games as quickly as possible. That's not at all what I'm saying in these videos, so please don't take it as financial advice. This is just, again, to try and be transparent. So when I'm doing these videos and I'm doing the discords and the posts and things like that, you know exactly how what I'm doing. I'm far from a whale, but thankfully I've made some good decisions in this, so I've been able to continue to invest in what I consider really good games, and I've actually removed myself from some games that I initially thought were really good and no longer think that way. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and jump into this. Going to start off with the biggest game that I've removed myself since last update, which was the April timeframe. Krypton Dawn of the Machine. I have exited out of that. Still have a few NFTs in there that I'm looking to get rid of, but not really high on that game anymore. We've done many, many videos hinting at my displeasure towards their development. So I won't go into that, but wanted to be transparent that I have exited the Krypton game. I don't really, I'm not as fond as in it as I was before. Now let's get into the fun stuff, the stuff that I'm excited about. We're going to start off with a few games that I am heavily into and really enjoy and see a long-term gain. Then we'll give you a few that I've have a few NFTs in, and I'm watching them to see how they grow, and then some that I'm looking towards in the future that I may be the next ones that I jump into. So let's kick it off with. Got to kick it off with Waxel World. If you're not familiar with this, they are actually launching this week, and I am deeming this Waxel World Week since we have been super excited for this launch for months now, and it is finally that time. Tomorrow, July 12th, they are going to be launching. We can jump in and we can play. So super excited about that. So what I've done is I've gotten 20 ninjas. I know I initially had 21 ninjas. What I've done is I've actually, and I'll direct to this later in the video, but I actually got rid of one of the ninjas just because I want to keep a happy balance at 20. And I actually reinvested that into my current focus as far as investments. I don't want to say investments, purchases. But Waxel World, I am super excited about, super into. Like I said, 20 ninjas. Considering this Waxel World week, keep an eye out for some giveaways coming in the near future, as soon as later today or tomorrow that will relate to Waxel World. So keep an eye on my Twitter, keep an eye on my YouTube videos, and if you're not part of the Discord, jump into the Discord. We try and do is lots of giveaways. A link in the description down below. All right, no longer with the self promotion. The next game that I'm super excited and I'm really into is castles. I've talked about this quite a bit on the channel. Just want to give you a quick recap of how I'm doing in the game right now. I right now have four castles that I've been able to build up through my two barons, which I currently have. Have two barons, plus I have a lot of lumberjacks and carpenters. I have three active lumberjacks that are producing lumber for my 8 carpenters. And why do I have so many carpenters working right now? Because I'm trying to churn out as many land packs as possible. If you're not familiar with these, carpenters give you fine wood, which you can convert into land packs, which give you additional lands that you can merge up and get more castles. The goal for me before they do the doubling here at 500,000 farms is to get 6 or 7 castles, possibly even 8, because I want to have as many castles because the castles produce the royal seals, which is going to be a big part of the game in the future, both the land version of it and the dungeon expansion in the future. So that's why I'm pushing very hard. And once I get done with one of the other projects I'm focused on, I'm going to jump back here and push through the castles as much as possible. Again, you get the different lands and you merge them up. So my goal is 8 before the I blanked on what it's called before they go ahead and do the doubling, basically the doubling requirements. You see the right here as far as their goal is to try and get to 500,000 minted farms, and then they go ahead and double the cost of the crafting. So that's my goal. All right, the next game that I'm focused on right now, and I'm very high on, is obviously Taco Universe. What I've done since the April timeframe is I've added a few brigade pieces of equipment since they've expanded it to 3, but that's all the brigade equipment I have. I only have 3 items, just enough to go ahead and run it. My main focus is on the collectors and the extractors and the venues. My extractors and venues are relatively the same, but I have added 4 collectors to it. And the collectors, once we have the ability to upgrade, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade them up through the process. And then I'm also going to stake more. Again, my focus is on castles and this project that I'm going to get to here in a second. In addition to that, I've done very little with Farming Tales. I'm holding on to everything. I'm getting any legendary NFTs that come out. For example, the dog, also examples, the cat and the hempland. Those came out. I grabbed on hold of those, and I'm really just holding on to mine because I'm getting ready for new Waxchester. I want to make sure that I have a wide variety, and I mean this wide variety of products that my farm is pushing out. So I am right now producing every single type of product except for honey. Honey is the only thing I'm not producing. So you'll see all the different animals here. So that'll give me a good variety when it comes to the different products. And then from the farm perspective, or the gardens, I should say, I am not doing anything with them other than they're staked right now. I'm hanging on to every single seed that I get and getting ready for new wax tester. So that's what I'm doing in Farm and Tales. The next thing I'm really focused on, and this is the project that I'm currently putting all my purchases into and all my wax into. Oh, skipped it. We'll jump back to that here in a second. And that's the Funko DC drop that they're doing. I'm trying to go ahead and get the royalty collection together, which is all of the commons, uncommons, rares, and epics, so I can go ahead and get that Freddy Funko physical pop. I'm actually working backwards on this. I got all the epics done because they're the most expensive. I got all the rares done. You see the complete set here. And I'm currently working on the commons halfway through that. So once I get through that, I'll go ahead and have enough and I can start focusing on other projects again. Another project that I'm big on, but I'm kind of holding steady on, is Unlinked. They are currently really focused on phase 2. So I'm just kind of holding right there. I have everything as far as I have some distributors, and I have the cards that I've upped to gold since the April update. But I'm really just kind of holding on those. I'm not really doing much. This is really for phase 2 when it comes out, because there's not really a ton going on with this game right now. All right, those were my main projects, main ones that I am focused on that I really like: Waxel, Castles, Taco, Farming Tales, holding steady on Unlinked, and the Funko DC drop are the ones that I'm really focused on. There's a few other games that I do have NFTs in, and not huge handles, but enough to go ahead and continue to occupy myself. Those are games like Million on Mars. I have a number of buildings, and I have a number of lands that I'm holding on to that I occasionally am working on. In addition to that, Immersys, I have a number of NFTs that allow me to play, and you see me streaming this occasionally, which I want to do more of. So I do have those. I have both the tools to mine and cut down wood and so forth, and also a sword for battling NFTs. So those I have small handles on, going to potentially have bigger handles on them in the future. And then there's 3 games that I'm really looking into that once I get through the Funko DC drop, these are potential ones that I may jump into and really start collecting into. One is Music Mogul. Just came out. I think that has a lot of potential. I really am starting to like the approach that they're doing with the touring and the recording and how that's all going to work together. So I'm keeping an eye on that. In addition to that, I'm keeping an eye on blockchain brawlers. I've been talking about keeping an eye on this for quite some time. I know the gold token has dropped considerably over the last month or so, but I still think it's a fun concept and a fun game. And then last but not least, I think this is a sleeper. Dahoot Valley, if they implement what they're saying they're going to implement, I think this is going to be a good one. Whether they do it or not, that's still yet to be determined. That's kind of why I'm holding off a little bit on jumping into this, which may be a bad idea down the road, not jumping into it early enough. But I right now I have my focus on other projects. Um, that's really what I'm focused on right now. And I can be honest with you, I'm spread a little thin between projects. What I recommend for a lot of people, especially those that are newer into the whole wax or any NFT gaming itself, focus on one game, two games that you truly believe in. That's why I'm super heavily focused on these four, because I'm building them up and I continue to build them up. These other ones are kind of just watch and see, hold on to minimum products to really see how they grow and develop. But if you're new, focus on one game, really get a handle on that to the point where you are happy with what you have. Maybe it's turning some wax for you that you can reinvest into other projects, repurchase into other projects. So I hope you all enjoy this. Again, this is not for me to gloat and say, haha, look how much I have. This is really to be transparent and give you what I'm personally doing with mine, give you an insight of what I have for each of the projects. You can gauge what compared to what you have, or you can get ideas of something you may want to look at in the future. So I hope you all enjoy this. If you do, go ahead and comment down below. Let us know what games you're into. What additional are you into? Some of these that I'm really focused on? Are you into other ones that I may not have mentioned? So I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.